Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today we're gonna check how to play with Francis. But before we start, don't forget to leave a like, share and subscribe if you enjoy the content. So, Francis is going to be an assist type demon. As you can see, my Francis is maxed out. And let's check the skills. I usually comment on the skills, but I have too many comments for these characters, and I'm gonna leave them at the very end. I'm really curious to know what you think about this character, and if you share my opinions or not. So be sure to reach the end of the video. So let's start with actually the leader skill. The leader skill says, when Tipsy reaches 5 stacks, use all stacks and activates Intoxicate. Tipsy effect disappears upon activating Intoxicate. So to know what Tipsy is, we need to check the buffs here. So we have two buffs, Tipsy and Intoxicate. Tipsy restores 2% of HP immediately, of max HP immediately, and increases attack and defense by 5% for 10 seconds, stack up to 5 times. Intoxicate, for 5 seconds, damage is increased by 30% and speed is increased by 100%. Oh, wait a moment. Damage is increased by 30%, speed is increased by 100%, super armor is acquired, okay, yeah, and engages in auto combat, cannot use skills. So yeah, I'm going to refrain from commenting on all of this, just so that we can focus on what she does, and then we see my opinion about it. So, first we have the basic enhancer, Spirit Slay, enhances normal attacks by adding an area attack that strikes the ground with a weapon. One supporter increases damage by 10%, 2 supporters increase damage by 20%, 3 supporters increase particle charge amount by 50%. Hard Catch. Hard Catch is the all green skill. It's gonna be melee and range. The range part is the handcuffs, and the melee part is gonna be the swing, the bat swing, or the club swing, whatever it is. It's a hold attack, 14-second cooldown, conjures handcuffs and pulls the enemy towards her, then knocks back the pulled enemies. 1 green increases damage by 10% for 10 seconds. 2 green increases attack range by 30%. And 3 green increases critical damage by 250% and gains super armor while attacking. Then, Demon Render. Melee attack, dash attack, 8-second cooldown, dash forward to perform a charge attack on the enemy. This activates on the main. Main green increases damage by 10% for 5 seconds. Main blue restores HP by 3% of the damage dealt, and main red knocks up the enemy. Then Grenade. Grenade is gonna be a range attack and a melee attack at the same time. The melee part is going to be the bat swing. The range attack is gonna be the dagger that she launches, or bomb, whatever it is. It says, during normal attacks, hold attack. 12-second cooldown, deals an area attack that leaps backwards and deals an additional attack by throwing bombs. So, 1 blue pulls the enemy by hitting the area attack towards the character. That pulls the enemy hit by the area attack towards the character, okay, it pulls, yeah. Performs the additional attack 1 more time, and with 3 blue increases skill damage by 150%. Then Flame Flick. Flame Flick is going to be a melee attack. A quick parenthesis, a quick note, is that this is kind of a buff. It doesn't count as a buff, it counts as an attack, but it buffs your attacks by doubling the amount of hits. Look at this, it says, immediately before enemy attack, evade, 12-second cooldown. When doing an extreme dodge, deals an additional attack by attaching a bomb that explodes on contact to the weapon. The bomb is active for 8 seconds and explodes 6 times in total. The bomb explodes 2 more times when a slot effect is applied. So this is the skill that activates on pure color builds. It's going to be with green, increases explosion range by 30%. With blue, increases speed by 20% for 10 seconds. With red, activates super armor for 5 seconds. So, the next one. 6 Heaven's Demise. Melee attack, hold attack. Well, at the end of normal attack, hold attack. 3-second cooldown. Knock up the enemy and jumps up, slamming the weapon hard into the ground with an area attack. 1 green reduces the skill cooldown by 20%. 1 blue increases skill damage by 25%. 1 red increases speed by 10% for 10 seconds. Then we have the pure red skill. It's going to be Wail and Whip. Melee attack, hold the bait, 12-second cooldown, performs a consecutive attack to the enemies in front by swinging the weapon. 1 red strikes the ground at the end of the attack and performs additional attack. 2 red increases the attack range by 30%, and 3 red increases critical rate by 50% and gains super armor while attacking. Then, Raging Shooting. Melee attack, double dash, 10-second cooldowns, perform a charging attack going on a frenzy with the weapon. 2 green increases damage by 20% for 10 seconds. 2 blue increases speed by 20% for 10 seconds. 2 red gains super armor while using the skill. Onigoroshi. Onigoroshi is going to be a range attack. Immediately after attack, evade. That's going to be a combo attack. It's 3-second cooldowns. Becomes tipsy and deals an additional attack by throwing a cup. 2 green, increase HP restoration amount of tipsy by 1%. 2 blue, increase the duration of intoxicate by 2%, by 2 seconds. And 2 red, stuns the enemy. Lastly, we have the awakening skill. It's Ricochet Frenzy. It's going to be a range attack and melee attack at the same time. The melee part is the swing and the range attack is the bullets. Then, immediately after enemy attack, evade. It's a counter, as you can see. 6-second cooldown. When doing an instant dodge, knock back enemies and deals an additional attack by firing a machine gun. 2 green, machine gun fires 3 more bullets. 2 blue, increases speed by 20% for 5 seconds. 2 red, increase defense by 20% for 5 seconds. I have a ton of comments on all the skills, but I'll refrain from doing that because I want to do them along with the observations that I have about the character itself. So yeah. Well, let's see what I'm going to show you. I'm going to be using the Viridian weapon and the Crimson weapon. I was testing this character originally with only this. This is an S level 2 plus 15 weapon, and it was not enough. The damage it provided was not good enough. I mean, obviously, if we compare the stats, there's no point of comparison. The SR weapons are good, but the S level really matters. So, basically, I don't have any particular effect that matter. I'm going to be using, on the weapon, I'm going to be using critical Magatamas with water effect, which are going to be very helpful, and whatever Magatamas on the sub-slot. Both weapons, 5 out of 5, both plus 13. We're going to start with a build that uses Onigoroshi. To say the truth, only blue uses Onigoroshi effectively, because otherwise you don't have enough HP recovery. For that, we're going to be using skills that have low cooldown. That means Demon Render, super easy to use, and Raging Shooting, also super easy to use. You can use Ricochet Frenzy, yes, if there's a ton of mobs, and if they have super armor. If not, I don't recommend it that much, because you're gonna struggle with the buff. Even though you have extra seconds of duration, it is not the best idea. Another thing to take into consideration, Flame Flicker cannot go into Onigarashi, just so that you know. Perfect dodge skills don't go into follow-up attacks. So, for supporters, we are using a ton of limiteds. Yes, because we want the most damage. But, let me tell you, this is one of those characters who has a pretty easy time doing blue builds. There's the big three, there's Heaviko. You may use Noah Braum if you want, it is an option. Sakuya is there, of course. Sakura is fine. I mean, it's a generic damage reduction if you want to. Arabelle is there for VR. Let's see who else. White for anti-human if you want. Inagenatsu super easy to use, but if you want to use both effects of the main passive, you need to equip a Momochi weapon, basically. If not, you're not going to debuff the enemies. So why am I using this? Felicia to increase damage to absurd amounts because, of course, as Francis is assist. Kirara to restore HP by a little bit and also increase my damage. And you can put Felicia on the main if you want to gain defense, but in my case, I am using Lapis because, well, Francis is kind of average on terms of speed. She's not slow like Murasaki, but she's not fast like Lina with the basic enhancer. She's not fast as a character that has a butterfly weapon equipped. She's just average. Imagine like Asagi without taking advantage of Kojinka, without using any of her speed buffs, without using Kahahirako. It just attacks and they are at an okay speed. But she doesn't have super armor on her basic attacks, so she gets interrupted super easily. That's an issue. That's why we're using Lapis, to increase that speed. And also it enhances the melee attacks, and she's mainly a melee attacker. She does have mixed attacks, but not a small amount of the damage comes from those. So, in any case, we're gonna be doing Tower 100. There's only one build that I cannot beat this level, and it's gonna be the red build, and I'm gonna explain why. But let's start. So for this one, you want to combo and use Onigarashi. Let's see, because we are over relying on Frenzy. Well, Intoxicate. Let's call it Intoxicate. It is what it is. So yeah, as you can see, it is very good. The buff is very good. But there are certain disadvantages from using it. The fact that you cannot control the character is one thing, but the speed increase, the double speed is just worth it. Let's see. Then I use this and this. And then one more. And I start dealing with all the enemies. Good thing about this is that it auto tracks the enemies. And it's very proficient at dealing with them thanks to the super armor increase. Enemies cannot interrupt Francis. And there we go. The disadvantage, you lose control. If the enemy does an attack, you will take it. That's one thing. Also, if they become invincible, well, you're not gonna do anything. And you just wasted your stacks. Okay, almost done. Just one more. And there. Look at that. Perfect. I think I'm gonna use the active. Just to deal damage. Yeah, you can use, of course, Onigoroshi on other builds. On other colors too. But to say the truth, the best effect of Onigoroshi is going to be blue. So that's one thing. The other thing is that you cannot recover HP in other builds, so it's extremely risky to use that. So yeah, that's one of the disadvantages of this character. I'm going to use the ultimate because I don't want to deal with the waves of enemies. Um, she's super weak against mobs that have super armor, so you don't want that. Okay, I do this. Also pretty weak against this kind of attacks unless you equip the ricochet, the Gatling gun. Or, it's not a Gatling gun, but the gun. Okay, come on. I just need to... Ah, I'm in frenzy, I see. I didn't notice. Okay, and I didn't deal damage. Nice. Let's see, perfect. Raging Shooting. Just one more. And I need that HP recovery. And then eliminate them all. Nice, nice, nice. Another advantage about using Frenzy, well, Intoxicate, is that she destroys super armor easily. Very, very easily. Let's see. 1, 2. There we go. Perfect. Nice. So, what is the issue with this? That I am not equipping a main color skill. Well, I'll tell you about it right now. I am not equipping Grenade because all the main color skills have long cooldowns. And that reduces the combinations that you can use. You're basically forced to go with the Heavy Shika pack with this character if you want to use Onigoroshi. That's it. That's one big issue. Because you require either Demon Render, Raging Shooting, or Ricochet Frenzy to be able to stack Onigoroshi. Because the other skills are not viable for that. Cannot combo into Onigoroshi. What's the... Oh yeah. Long cooldowns. Which, yes, it lasts 10 seconds for sure. The Tipsy buff. And 12 on blue. But the fact that they have long cooldowns and long animations, these have long animations. Like, it's not like super long, but you have not that much wiggle room. If you make a mistake, you're gonna lose your stacks. That's the issue. So, yeah, this lack of super armor is a big issue. You cannot use this, and this cannot be used because of the lack of super armor. So, yeah. Let's do the blue one, the blue that I like. I'm gonna be changing one of the supporters. Instead of using Onigoroshi, I use Ricochet, I use Grenade, and Demon Render because I want the HP recovery, of course. You can go with Shuten if you want. Shuten is fine. Here, instead of using Lapis, I'm using Bride and Rose, and the main is going to be Felicia to gain a little bit of damage reduction. So this is going to be way easier because I deal a ton of damage on demand. The fact that I can use Grenade whenever I want is really valuable. So look, I just explode everyone. Okay. I am forgetting the command. It's hold during normal attack. Okay. Yeah. I'm using evade, hold evade, but it's not that. Okay, well, in any case, attack, then hold attack, and wow, everyone is done for. Nice. Yeah, it is very easy to use ricochet here, but I'm pretty bad at using those skills, the counter skills, as well as the follow-up skills. That's why I don't like them that much. I mean, also there's disadvantages to the counters that you have to take a hit, and not everyone has HP recovery to actually use a counter. And if they have a counter, they need to have HP recovery on every color, or at least on the skill that uses a main to recover HP. Similar to Francis. Because at least you can use them on mixed builds. Bad thing about the counter is that you have to wait for the enemy to attack. But it's okay. Because, yeah, Edwin does a ton of attacks. Oh, come on. Just... there. If I wait for the animation, I'm gonna be able to use the ultimate. Which I will. Like, Francis definitely doesn't want to deal with waves of enemies. Some of them she can. Some waves with some skills. But if the enemy have super armor, you don't want that. That's why I do this. I mean, grenade is pretty good to deal with waves of enemies. But I don't want to expose myself. There. Nice. Look at the damage. Okay. I was expecting to do more builds with this character. I had like 3 ideas of how she could be used, but I was wrong. And I basically only did 2 for blue, 1 mix, and 1 for the other colors. So I am not going to show you red on this floor. I'm going to show you red, but the thing is, since I didn't roll on her banner, I don't have the Momochi weapon. And you need the Momochi weapon to tackle solo content with her. Otherwise, it will be ineffective for the most part. Basically, you would use Susune on the main. Technically, I could use her, sure. And I do get the benefit whenever I use the active. But the active also heals, and we really need that heal. So I cannot just use the active to increase my damage. It would be pretty bad. But basically you would use this and it would increase your damage with the Momochi weapon, and you restore HP whenever you need it with the active. But instead I'm gonna be using New Year Shiranui. She's also a pretty good supporter. You can use this on VR with her because we are trying to use the buff, not buff exactly, where is, oh, I have this, no, flame flicker. We need flame flicker, wailing, and demon render. No, we're not using, I don't know why I have these skills. We can use ricochet, we can use raging shooting. I'm gonna use raging shooting because it's easier to use. So with this, the idea is that we evade and we get the buff from New Year Shiranui to then use Wailing Whip, buff by Flame Flicker, well, with double hits thanks to Flame Flicker. Since Flame Flicker increases critical damage, we're using Barretta. And we're also using Yukina. You can equip whatever you want on this one, like damage is better, but if you go tank, that's also fine. We have Shirayuki, we have Sharia, Major. Um, the invincibility supporters for this one are an option if you're able to beat the enemy in one go, but otherwise I don't recommend it. Uh, if they are alive after after you use invincibility, it's kind of bad situation. You can use a Stella. White Vedraska is usable as a way to remove super armor, but you do not get any kind of damage benefit from the main, so keep that in mind. Let's see. You may use Aneros if you want. It's a thing, it's there, but it is RNG based, the healing, so not my favorite. You can use Spinel to increase damage for the team. Yep, sure. You can use Gal Lilin, probably one of the best options. You can also use Vacation Furfur. It's there. If you're clearing dailies, you can use Fuyutsuki, sure. Momochinagi. Yeah, it can be used on the main, actually. If you want to use her on the main, that's fine. So, yeah. Let's... So, no, not on this one. How about 85? Let's go to 85. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, the machine one. I don't know if I can beat it, but I think that with this weapon I can. I'm gonna be able to deal enough damage. So the first thing that we do is we evade, and then we hold the bait. And it doesn't hit the right on the right direction. Nice. Also, a thing that I don't like is that Raging Shooting does that weird thing where the direction is different. Look how... well, I say it's slow, but the truth is average. People think that, no, yeah, she's fast. No, she's slow. Well, it's because her speed is neither fast nor slow. She's in between. She's average. And that's not good enough for someone who doesn't have super armor. Basically, you have to be either fast or slow with super armor to be proficient at basics. There. Nice. So the first... Oh no, this is the last. I already did the other boss. I'm going to use the active too to deal more damage. There. Nice. Perfect. And now I just need to beat an Rose. Yeah, if I had the Momochi weapon, I would be able to do the other run. Oof. I'm having troubles here. Just so that you know. God. Come on. Get closer. No. Will I? I think I will. Come on. There. Phew. Yeah, you see, she doesn't have HP recovery on either green nor red, so that's kind of rough. She can manage if you do have the Mochi weapon. Otherwise, she doesn't inflict debuffs, so she cannot use effectively Susune. Even though in theory Susune is self-sufficient. Because it's not like... only 10 seconds of damage up is not worth it, in my opinion. So yeah, now let's go back to... I'm gonna do this and see if I go to the very top. No, I have to do it manually. Yeah, I have the controller. Yeah, I almost forgot that. Because I'm in front of the computer while recording. So I usually use the mouse. So let's see. Next is gonna be green. Green is really, really, really proficient as long as you're able to crit, and probably there will be builds that allow her to crit on BR. That's what I think. Like, we have seen how much crit focus supports we have received that enhance drastically the critical rate of the team. So we're able to crit on BR. So, obviously, hard catch, Demo render, and raging shooting. All of these are going to increase the attack. That's why we use them. And then we just use hard catch, or we start with hard catch and then we use the others, and then we rotate back to hard catch, and we delete everything. As simple as that. For this, we're going to be using Nano, Kowaru, and Suruga. Suruga could be changed for something that gives you more damage, but I mean, my weapons are not maxed out. They are missing two enchantment levels each. But I think that even so I can. No, I now that I remember, not every single hit was crit, so I will do it like this. Oh, come on. Yeah, well, at least I can use the controller. There. Uh-huh. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use my all green skill. I let the enemies gather and kaput! Well, the disadvantage about that skill is that it gathers a ton of enemies, but you only hit the one that is in front of you. The ones that are in front of you. So, yeah. This skill needs, like, a little tweak. Just increasing the size of the club would be amazing. Because that way you can hit everything. I think they could do the pack weapon do that. Okay, where are you? Oh. Okay. 1, 2, and okay, I'll do it again. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, no. That's why I hate Edwin. Him and his silly movements. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And it didn't hit for some reason. Or it did, but it didn't crit. It didn't crit, I think. Like, if you saw my test run, it was amazing. Yeah, something like that. I did more than that because I did the combo correctly. So it's first shooting, then the dash attack, then yeah, then hard shooting, dash attack if I manage. No, I don't. Oh, I hope that I can next time. I mean on the next wave. Just let me. There. I'm going to ultimate so that I can clear most of the enemies. Especially because you saw that what happens when there are too many enemies. The handcuffs are not great on that specific scenario. You want to clear some of them. Oboro! Yes, like that. That's the kind of damage that I want to see. So, shooting, dash attack, and handcuff. Wow, not bad, not bad. And then I use the active because my HP is too low. So yeah, it is really, 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 really good as long as you can crit. If you cannot crit, green is just like, okay, okay damage. Let's see. We're missing one build which is gonna be this one. Here I have the farming build. So this you can change according to what you want to do. You can go green or red. You can use Torajiro. You can use like whatever you want is fine. But let me show you. I am using a blue supporter. Like these are all generic damage increase. You can change it for damage increase and damage reduction, only damage increase, other effects, whatever is fine. But what is the idea that we do here? I was using Nonegoroshi, but I'm gonna change it because I want to show you how bad it is. But it is, trust me, it is just that bad. We're gonna be using Demon Render to recover HP. That's one thing. Wailing Whip, because we don't care about the effect. This one gives us that skill damage increase, this one gives us critical damage increase, and this gives us critical rate. So the base damage is good enough for a mixed build. So we need those two skills and one more. Let's see. I'm thinking that I'm gonna use this one. Yeah, I'm gonna expose myself a lot, so I'll use Frenzy. Or no, I cannot. I mean, technically I can, but I get less benefit if I go with a mixed build with this one. So yeah, basically pure damage with HP recovery and a little bit of damaging skills for mixed builds. Red is the best option. You can do it with green if you want, but red doesn't lose damage without the third supporter. So yeah, was it? It was evade. Hold evade. So yeah, just by dashing and attacking, I'm gonna be able to recover my HP, which is one of the biggest flaws from the other two colors. Their counter, and then I deal with everything and I recover HP. Nice. One hit. The only thing that I have to worry about is the wave of bats that heals Edwin. Other than that, it doesn't really matter. And also perhaps timing my skills properly. That's another thing. Oof. No. I don't deal that much damage compared to other builds, but it is consistent. I have HP recovery, and that's what matters. And that's what I'm trying to abuse. I hate defensive buffs. Like, HP recovery buffs, yeah, they are annoying, but they're manageable. Unlike defensive buffs. Defense, damage reduction buffs. Let's see. There. Checking. Okay. The counter. Yeah, that's why I use the counter, because I know Edwin is going to do that. And on the last wave, there's going to be a ton of enemies. And even if I clear the mobs, there's going to be the sub-bosses, Ingrid and Oboro. So that's one. I use the ultimate. I think that my ultimate's still missing a couple levels, now that I think about it. Yeah, I've been working on this character. As you can see, it's already max level, but it can improve a little bit more. Come on, just... I need more HP before I start locking myself. There. Perfect. I need more. Yeah, I have to evade. Okay, I guess I could. Let's see. There, HP recovery. Ah! Run! Run, girl, run! Okay. That's the thing, I don't have as much damage. And one disadvantage of the counters is that you have to stick in place while you do the animation of the counter. So I'll just do this. Like last time it wasn't as dire of a situation as it is now. Uh-huh. Okay, let's see. 1 down, 2 down, and now I can beat it. Yeah, if it's only one enemy, it's not gonna be a problem. Ah, and I can use the active. I have the microphone in front of me. I don't see the active icon. I didn't remember it was Felicia with the healing and stuff. Well, that's funny. So yeah, the performance of Francis in VR is way better than her performance on solo content. Like, well, I'll leave the comments to until I finish to the end of the video. To the end of the video, yeah. No. Okay. Well, I guess. I suppose. I am not using. I am not getting the benefit. Okay, that's fine. Doesn't really matter. So for this one, I could try to do a crit build, but I want to wait until we have. I'm thinking. Yeah, Murasaki, the new Murasaki, to try that out. Yes, these are all human, right? Human. Perfect. And then I equip whatever. This, and this. Nice. So, what are we going to be doing here? Preferably, we're going to be using blue, because blue gives us just like that damage increase and on the skill. So let's see. What do I want? Perhaps this lapis to help out my team and get that desired speed increase. Yeah. And yeah, I can use this. As simple as that. So basically, Phantasm is going to break the super armor. I think I can go a little bit further. 41. Yeah, probably I can. She's going to break the super armor. This is not the same build, but a very similar build to a video that I have previously done. So yeah, that's her build. Obviously the Magatamas are anti-demon. So yeah. Let's wait a moment. I forgot to change the skills of Francis. Yeah, because I need grenade. Yeah, I almost forgot that part. So for skills, we change this for grenade. We need the HP recovery for sure. And I think I can use this one. Yeah, I can, especially with this boss. Yeah, because there's gonna be fire pits here. Okay. So I just destroy the enemy. She's going to be a damage dealer, a generic damage dealer. As simple as that. She doesn't offer that much to the team. She's selfish. But in exchange, she does really good numbers when she gets her effects, her set effects. Like green doesn't do good numbers if it doesn't crit, but blue does always, just cause. Nice, perfect. I just want my perfect debate there. Nice. Where is she? Here. Oh, and it targets the fireball. Nice. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, I'm not having trouble with this. Well, I mean, I already beat floor 100. Of course I can do this. There. And I just abuse the damage. Grenade. There. Nice, nice, nice. So yeah, she deals a ton of damage. You can use her as a main attacker on VR, but there's a couple of things to see before we do that. So let's go very quickly to her weapons. We're, I would say, about to finish, but I still got the comments for her. So not here. In collection, weapons, and we put Francis. Francis, as you know already, is a character who released with its own weapon. So we have to build her from scratch, which is a shame. For weapons, she has two excellent SRs. Number one, Particle Reactor, which is going to be her anti-human weapon. You may use this on VR. It's very, very good. Mine is S level 2. That's why I didn't use it. And of course, we have Rashomon, which is her critical damage weapon. Super good for every normal content. Every content where you can actually crit. It is pretty effective, but I don't have it. And then we have the whatever weapon with the horrible effect. This is the paid, the weapon that comes in the pack, and it's pretty bad. I do not recommend it. It's a one-hit KO. Ha! Sure, why not? Then we have the Sakura weapon, which is mileage and very expensive. Then we have Sin Eater. Has a 5% chance to stun the enemy, dealing damage when performing a normal attack. So this is meant to be used in conjunction with her intoxicated status, but that's kind of bad to begin with. You use the basic attacks whenever the super armor is down. Otherwise, you do not use them, so it's not really good, and it has a very low chance to activate. So yeah, don't use it. The active is kind of useful actually because it snares the enemies. It's 5 particles, it's expensive, but it's definitely a worth effect. And it's so that it doesn't say the duration. Maybe Grimoire will fix that. Then the PvP weapons and the Momochi weapon. The Momochi weapon, I mean, it's useless on VR for the most part, but if you have Aneros, it's actually useful. And it is probably her best weapon right now because Francis isn't able to inflict debuffs. That's the thing. So a weapon that inflicts debuffs on her behalf, it's really, really good. So very quickly, let's talk about this character. So it is deceiving. It has an amazing model. It looks pretty good for sure. She is really strong, yes. But as I was telling you, if you don't have enough weapons, she is not going to be able to do challenging content. If you don't have a good S level, she's going to be perfectly fine on normal content. On dailies, an event, she's going to look like, wow, she's really, really strong. But the moment you start tackling challenging content, tower and VR, if you don't have the right S level, she's gonna flop. and hard. Another thing, intoxicate. Well, the leader skill. It is completely useless. Why do I say this? Gremory didn't need to add the leader skill. Like, it just changes tipsy for intoxicate. And they could have actually put that interaction in the description of these buffs. Like, this has 3 lines and this has 2 lines. So this could have said, the tipsy could have said, when reaching the 5th stack, becomes intoxicated instead. Remove stacks and become intoxicated. Something like that. Another problem with this. There's only one skill that gives you the intoxicated status, and the animation is pretty bad. You stop attacking, you do a wind up animation, and it is a long wind up animation. You get the glass, then you drink, and then you throw it. And it doesn't deal that much damage, and the effects are terrible. The only good one is actually, I mean, stun could be used for PvP, sure, whatever, but the blue one is the greatest, because you have more wiggle room to do your combos. Why is the HP recovery 1% bad? Because it's 1%. If you check the tipsy buff, if I'm not mistaken, it's 2% HP recovery. That's going to be 3% HP recovery. I guess it's the 3% on total HP. It doesn't even say if it's total HP or missing HP. But, let's check that buff one more time. So, yeah. Of max HP. Yeah, it's max HP. At least it's max HP. So yeah, let me check. I did a list of all the bad things. The leader skill, the fact that tipsy. Oh yeah. Another bad thing is that since this is the only skill that inflicts tipsy, you are meant to use them in conjunction with the skills that have low cooldowns, which is going to be Flame Flicker, Raging Shooting, and Ricochet Frenzy. This one doesn't count, and I'll explain it later. So you have to use it with this, and these don't deal the most damage. So if you don't have the Heavy Shika pack, you're not going to be able to equip, or, well, yes, you can equip any of these, but there's a lot of there's not much wiggle room. If something goes wrong, you're gonna lose the stacks. It seems like it's a long duration for the buff, but it actually isn't when you take away the animation of the attacks. So yeah, not the greatest thing that I am forced to use specific skills to be able to combo. Yeah, Flame Flicker you cannot use. It's Demon Render, Raging Shooting, and Ricochet. Yeah, these 3 are the ones that you combo. Another thing, you cannot combo it with this. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, the fact that Francis speed is average. So this, the basic enhancer, is basically useless. I mean, you can use it on dailies, sure. If the enemy doesn't have super armor, you're fine. But if the enemy has super armor, then that's an issue. Because you're gonna get interrupted. She has 0 super armor. I got interrupted always when doing starting my basics. So she either becomes faster, which I don't think they're gonna do, because the frenzy buff doubles her standard speed, or she gains super armor. Like, Gremory needs to give super armor to her basic attacks. As simple as that. Then it was also disappointing that I think that this was going to be a combo, Spirit Slay and Flame Flicker, but it's actually a pretty bad combination. Like, never use this combo, please. I mean, you can for dailies, yes, but that's dailies, not challenging content. Let's see, what other thing. Oh yeah, it is awkward. This gives super armor, but it actually has enough super armor as it is. I mean, I guess that if a boss is doing her super strong attack and that boss is actually going to take away that, is going to interrupt that skill, then it's useful. But for most situations, it has enough super armor as it is. These three also have a great amount of super armor. This has good super armor. This doesn't need super armor. This unusable. Let's see. This has good super armor. I mean, obviously it's a counter. And this unfortunately has excellent super armor. Unfortunately, because you're very vulnerable due to the long wind up animation. So, yeah. The thing is that the only thing in her kit that actually doesn't have enough super armor are her basic attacks, which make her really awkward. You want to be using only her skills. I mean, yes, they deal damage, but sometimes they are on cooldown, so you want to do a couple basics at least. Let's see. What else? One way to solve the super armor issue. Oh yeah. This one. This also gives you super armor. In my opinion, a way to solve the issue about the basic enhancer and the basic not having super armor, but I don't think they're gonna do it, is to add the super armor here to the base effect and give something different on the red. That would be a pretty easy way to fix it. Let's see. Tipsy's HP recovery is weak. Selfish, blah blah blah. I'm checking my notes. 6. Things haven't demised. Oh yeah, this skill. I have been saying that it's unusable. I was thinking, what is this skill? I don't remember. Yeah, the one that you cannot use. So this skill is basically unusable. The only moment when you can actually use this skill is when the enemy has no super armor, and that's about it. Also, this has the classic disadvantages of skills that go after basic attack combos. That, yeah, it says 3-second cooldowns plus the whole animation of basic attacks. Yeah. The effects are okay, the skill seems okay, but since you always get interrupted on the basics, you cannot use this ever. So it isn't even worth trying. It is a completely useless skill, which is horrible. Like these two, imagine you have a character without two skills because you cannot use this and this. As simple as that. Technically, you can use the basic enhancer on red, yeah, but is it really that much? Is it really worth it to use it? In my opinion, that's a no. Then, let's see. Onigoroshi. Oh yeah, I already told you that all of these effects are unimpressive except for blue. Blue is fine. So Grammar should change them. I think that if they made Tipsy give an HP regen for a couple seconds, that would be way better. Like, the 1% can remain if they change it for a regen. If it was like 5-second, 10-second regen, no. No, I mean, because it has to be while it's active. They can reduce the number even, but a regen would be better. Or make it a regen effect. If it's on green, make it a regen effect. That could be better. Instead of restoring HP, it becomes a regen effect. That it's not on one occasion, it's while the buff is active. Let's see. Francis is a selfish attacker that needs a lot of micromanaging to take advantage of her unique buff. Yeah, definitely. That's the issue with her. Only one skill can provide you that tipsy buff. So you have to purposely do a build that focuses on low cooldowns so that you can combo into Onigoroshi, and you're missing damage because of that, but you kind of compensate with Intoxicate. So the good things about her is that all triple color skills have super armor. Raging Shooting has super armor, flame flicker, ricochet. All of them are splashable. Francis has great damage. But I want to say she's at the top of the list on the damage department. She has good design and good skins. Her Intoxicate is a very strong buff that deals a ton of damage, deals a ton of multi-hits, shreds super armor super easily. And it cannot be interrupted. That's also a great thing. And I think that maybe they could have changed Intoxicated in some way. Like, if it was me, I would have made the buff like whenever you're buffed, your controllers are reverse, kind of like Confusion. That would have been a good thing. But no, Tips is fine. Tips is fine. So, should you get this character? As a newer player, she's gonna be appealing for sure. She's gonna be strong enough to carry you through the early game. But if you don't get lucky on the gacha, if you don't work to build her and get strong weapons, S5 and Enchanted, then she's not gonna perform effectively on challenging content. She falls off very, very quickly if you don't have the kind of equipment. There's characters that maybe they don't deal the most damage, but they can manage thanks to her unique effects. Murasaki has a ton of HP recovery, and Phantasma does have HP recovery and deals a ton of damage thanks to her leader skill when she's near the enemies. Who else? Lapis has HP recovery. Who else? I'm thinking. Kirara is able to freeze the enemy and you can reposition yourself for the cooldowns or whatever. Shizuru inflicts a ton of debuffs. And that's the thing. Francis doesn't provide that much to your team. And she quickly stops being useful. Especially if you don't have the right equipment. As I was telling you, I wasn't able to deal with stage 100 or most of my runs. Only Blue did when I have these on the sub weapon. Which, I mean, I have done it with other characters. And I am surprised that she was having so much trouble. She really needs that HP recovery. Gremory really needs to rework both the buff and the leader skill. And she needs definitely a buff on the basics. Like, or maybe Flame Flicker, as I told you. Like, put the super armor here too. But I think that the basics with super armor would be way better. I don't know, guys. In my opinion, this is one character that needs an actual hot fix, like Shiranui did when she was, well, not when she released, like sometime after she released, Gremory apply a hot fix and she become useful. I feel that that's the case for this character. If it had like after using I don't know, 3 skills, you get tipsy. Actually, that would be way better of an leader skill. After using 3 skills, you get tipsy. That would be great because it would work on any color pretty effectively. And you can use this to increase the stacks. In that case, if they just made that slight change on the leader skill, Onigoroshi would be actually good because you can accelerate by doing a double tipsy. Yeah, that would actually be a great fix. Yes, Gremory, please put a condition that give us tipsy just cause on the leader skill. That would totally fix her. So yeah, guys, what do you think about it? Is she good? Is she bad? Is she slow? That's a topic. Is she slow? Let me know in the comments, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye.